It's Batman month here on End Credit Reviews. By this point in time, it was almost 10 years since there was a live-action Batman movie. Within that gap of time, many Batman movies were considered and cancelled. First was Batman Triumphant. The villains featured in this one would be the Scarecrow and Harley Quinn as the eventual daughter of the Joker. Jack Nicholson was also going to have a cameo as the Joker during a nightmare scene, but because Batman and Robin failed financially and critically, it was cancelled. Next was Batman Dark Knight, in which the Scarecrow was going to be the main villain, but instead of Harley Quinn, the villain was going to be Man-Bat. That was then scrapped in favor of a live-action adaptation of Batman Beyond. It did sound like a good idea, but then it was quickly stopped in favor of Batman Year One. With this one, the studio wanted Darren Aronofsky to write and direct, after he directed the critically acclaimed movie Requiem for a Dream. The studio decided to shut down the project after Darren Aronofsky wanted, get this, Clint Eastwood to play Batman in a movie during the beginning of Batman's career as a crime fighter. We would eventually get a Batman Year One movie, but I'll get to that one soon. The last one to get rejected was Batman vs. Superman. I'm not kidding, they were actually going to make this movie years ago with Colin Farrell as Batman. Interesting choice, but I'm glad they waited. It wasn't until newcomer Christopher Nolan pitched his idea of Batman being more grounded in reality. The studio trusted him because he made a few good movies beforehand. Finally, the Batman franchise was finally rebooted a decade later with Batman Begins. Bruce Wayne, played this time by Christian Bale, still blames himself for the death of his parents years ago and ventures around the world to find his true self. He is then recruited by a man named Ducard, played by Liam Neeson, to join and train with the League of Shadows. When he is finished with his training, he refuses to take a life and defects from the League of Shadows. He later returns to Gotham City as a vigilante known as Batman. To sum up, Batman Begins, at least from when I saw it when it first came out, was a breath of fresh air and revived the Batman franchise. Seeing it go from Batman Robin to Batman Begins was like seeing it go from Die Another Day to Casino Royale. The character arc that Batman goes through is very well written. He starts off being afraid of bats by the time he was a kid, all the way from being an adult. However, when he discovers the Batcave for the first time, he is then swarmed by bats and embraces them. As Batman, he felt like a creature of the night and far more stealthy than any other Batman, well, at least in live action.
Where are you? Here.
I also liked how when he was Bruce Wayne, he acts reckless and immature so people wouldn't think he was Batman. Another heroic character to talk about is Jim Gordon, played this time by Gary Oldman. As much as I like the Commissioner Gordon from the last series, I prefer this one because he does a lot more and works more closely with Batman. The villains in this one are Ra's al Ghul and the Scarecrow. I thought it was cool when we got to see him use fear gas on Batman, and later on, Batman turns the tables on him by using fear gas on Scarecrow. The effect is fantastic. My favorite scene is when Batman escapes from Arkham Asylum and is chased by the police when he tries to save his love interest Rachel, played by Katie Holmes. It is perfectly shot, directed, edited, and every time I watch it, my adrenaline skyrockets. But the one problem I have with this movie is the fact that the fight scenes are not very well shot and are a bit confusing at times. Batman Begins is a great movie, but sadly overlooked by its sequels. I give Batman Begins 3.5 stars out of 4.
Nice car.
You should see my other one.